Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Our another topic regarding John Dryden. So here John Dryden as liberal classicist. The most distinctive quality of Dryden as a critic is his liberal outlook on literature, which widened as his critical powers developed and matured. Let us try to understand his sturdy independent nature and attitude towards literature in the light of the modern critics. First of all, David Disher says his changing tastes and interests helped to make him responsive to different kinds of literary skill and artistic conventions, thus giving him that primary qualification of the good practical critic, the ability to read the work under consideration with full and sympathetic understanding. Though a keen admirer of the classical achievement, Dryden was never a servile imitator of the rules of classical writing. He was highly sensitive to the changing tastes of people and to the requirements of his own age. He refused to pay blind allegiance to any authority, howsoever great it be. He substituted reason for the ancients as authority for literary judgments. At one place he wrote, "It is not enough that Aristotle has said so, for Aristotle drew his models of tragedy from Sophocles and Euripides, and if he had seen ours, might have changed his mind." So this is his independent view, his freedom of thought. He was always conscious of his own freedom. Dryden's attitude to the ancients was not that of idolatry. In this regard, Professor Tilliard commends his independent attitude when he says, quote, "Freed from a superstitious regard for the ancients, he used his common sense and skill to look at them quite coolly and with no more initial respect, which he accorded to the writers of his own day." The result is that of perfection of tone in matters of comparative literature that has not been equaled before or since, and this is paramount critical achievement. Another great critic, W.P. Carr, also admires his independence in matters of critical judgments in these words, quote, "His virtue is that in a time when literature was pestered and cramped with formulas, he found it impossible to write otherwise than freely. He is skeptical, tentative, disengaged, where most of his contemporaries and most of his successors for 100 years are placed to certain dogmas and principles." Unquote. Dryden's free critical disposition is shown in his rejection of all arbitrary bans upon freedom of composition and freedom of judgment. And now the conclusion. To conclude, Dryden is a liberal classicist who does not consider rules as an end in themselves, but merely as a means to good writing. The free play between theory and practice, which we find in Dryden's criticism, is one sign of his superiority to the ordinary professional critic of his or any other times. Thank you very much.